Hey everybody, so if you're wondering why this video is being filmed in black and white, well my answer to that is because if we were in a Wizard of Oz movie, in real life this would be black and white, and when we were to go to Oz, everything would be in color. So it only felt appropriate to film this video in black and white since I wasn't in Oz when I filmed this. Um, so I saw Oz the Great and Powerful recently, you guys. Big blockbuster for the March 8th weekend. It seemed to make a lot of money. Seemed like a lot of people were really anticipating it. I was definitely one of those people because I've always been a huge fan of the original Wizard of Oz and kind of the L. Frank Baum stories of Wizard of Oz. So I was interested in seeing, kind of the origin story that started it all. How did the wizard get there? Why did he kind of have to fake everything in order to become this big that we saw later on in Wizard of Oz? Um, so Sam Raimi, who directed the Spider-Man trilogy, the first three of them, um, he directed this movie, and he did his absolute best to try to explain why certain things happened the way it did before Dorothy went there in The Wizard of Oz. Um, so in this movie, guys, James Franco plays an amateur magician. Played his name is Oscar Diggs, and people call him Oz the Great and Powerful whenever he's performing somewhere. And basically, his shows aren't going well. They're not making a lot of money. He's seeing several different women. One of them's played by Michelle Williams. And basically, he has to flee the circus. It didn't go well. People saw the wiring during his performance. This little girl asks if he can help cure her since she's handicapped and in a wheelchair, and he obviously can't because he's not a real magician. So basically, it goes absolutely horribly wrong at the circus show in Kansas, filmed in black and white the whole time they're in Kansas, like in the original. Um, and basically, he has to flee the scene because all these people are after him, and he escapes through a hot air balloon, which eventually gets sucked into a tornado, like the original film. And now the wizard himself is in Oz. Um, so basically, Oscar Diggs, played by James Franco again, he encounters a witch who's played by Mila Kunis, and Thedora, I think her name is. And basically, she tells him that, it's a miracle that he's there in Oz because it's been told in prophecy that one day a wizard would come to Oz and, um, save everybody, make everything at peace. That his name is kind of the reasoning why the place is called Oz, because he goes by Oz the Great and Powerful in his magician shows, so people really think that he's this um, all-powerful magician that can save everybody. So basically, he meets these three witches, all played by Mila Kunis, Rachel Weisz, and Michelle Williams. And what's kind of funny is, and there's several creatures and people among them that kind of think differently on all three of them, where basically nobody can tell who is the bad witch, the good witch, and who's kind of the in between one, or if the in between one is good or bad, or what the deal is. Um, so basically, depending on what person or creature you talk to, they're going to tell you, who's good, who's bad, who they think's the in between. Um, so basically, it comes down to James Franco realizes that if he wants to get what he wants, whether it's leaving Oz, getting this huge rich gold pile that the Rachel Weisz character introduced him to. So basically, any type of goal he has while he's in Oz, basically what he has to do is stop the Wicked Witch, and of course, to do that, he has to figure out which one of these witches is the real witch. So he goes on this journey with this small monkey and a small little plastic doll girl, both from based off people that he knew in his real life, and they're now in Oz with him as these creatures. And he basically has to find the Wicked Witch and kill her, like Dorothy did in Wizard of Oz. And he also has to prove that he's this great and powerful wizard in order to be crowned king, according to the Michelle Williams witch. So basically, you guys, Oz the Great and Powerful is very good. It definitely lives up to the name Great and Powerful because I think it is a very well done movie. So first and foremost, for positives, visuals. I have no complaints about visuals in this film. It looked the way I always wanted Oz to look in a movie, so I have no complaints about the visuals at all in this movie. There was some great Sam Raimi isms, specifically with some of the creatures in the Dark Forest. Definitely had an Evil Dead, dark Sam Raimi look and feel to them, which I really appreciated. Um, it feels like an older film. It definitely, specifically with the black and white scenes and then transitioning into color, and because the colors really stood out in this movie, it definitely felt like we were living what film looked like in color for the first time again. And I liked that Sam Raimi managed to accomplish that really colorful feeling to this movie. I liked how the film tributed and homaged the original Wizard of Oz, whether it was a creature, a silhouette of a classic character. Um, it basically tributes or homages kind of the famous things that Wizard of Oz is known for. I like that they showed the establishment of the world before Dorothy went there. Like, why is this person over there? Why is this thing like this? Why do people not like this person or this creature that much? They establish all that in this movie. The acting performances were great in this. All three of the witches I really liked. I thought casting wise that was perfect. All three of those actresses were great in those roles. I thought James Franco did a good magician. So acting wise, once again, I have no complaints at all. Um, I actually liked the new Oz characters like the monkey and the doll that joined James Franco while he's trying to kill off the Wicked Witch. I thought they were neat characters. Even the characters like the creatures in the dark forest and stuff, all of them I thought were very neat creatures. Um, for negatives, you guys, the development of the origin, or in this case, the story full of twists and turns. I think the film really needed to decide which one of those two it wanted to be, because I saw both of those elements in this movie, and it was never quite clear if Sam Raimi wanted to go with one or both of them, so instead he executes both at the same time. And I think if you're going to make a development of an origin, do that. Or if you're going to make a story full of twists and turns, do that. Don't do both at the same time. You can have an origin story and have twists in it, but at the same time, don't have so many twists to the point where that origin can't be told because there is so many twists. So I really wish that Sam Raimi really would have decided which one of those two things this film was going to be before making it. Um, there were some unusual writing choices in this. Just like, for example, I guess a good example of this is like the flying monkeys. They died off from straw in one scene, and just a lot of things where it's just like, really, that's how they die. Um, so basically, maybe some more explanation for certain things would have been nice. There were some occasional notable voiceovers and dubs, specifically with the Wicked Witch. Not going to say who it is because it would ruin the movie, but if you really watch closely, the Wicked Witch's laugh sounds very different than that actress's voice is when she was not the Wicked Witch, or even when she is the Wicked Witch and not laughing. So I thought that was a little bit noticeable. Um, and I thought the film had a slight lack of direction. Like, it couldn't tell if it just wanted to be about the origin of the wizard or if it was about these three witches that really couldn't get along with each other. So basically, because it had to tell so many things, it just kind of lost direction. I thought after a while. Still a great movie. Just every once in a while, it's like, okay, what direction is this going in, kind of thing. But overall, guys, I give the Oz the Great and Powerful an 8.5 out of 10. Very well done movie. If you like Wizard of Oz, you're going to love this. If you like Sam Raimi films, you're going to love this. And if you like the fantasy genre itself, I think you're going to love this film also. So definitely something worth seeing. It's probably one of the more notable early releases of 2013. So if you haven't seen Oz the Great and Powerful yet, guys, make sure you do so. It is truly great and powerful.